Welcome back. In this lesson, we will explore the third ICF Core Competency, establishing and maintaining agreements. This competency falls under the category of co-creating the relationship and is essential to every successful coaching agreement. According to the ICF, this competency is about partnering with the client and relevant stakeholders to create clear agreements about the coaching relationship, the process, the plans, and the goals. In short, coaching agreements are the container that hold the coaching process together. Many new coaches struggle with this competency early on. That's understandable. Learning to effectively create and manage coaching agreements takes time and practice. But mastering this skill is foundational to becoming a confident, competent coach. Let's walk through the key elements of this competency. First, explaining what coaching is and isn't. The first step is clearly explaining what coaching is and what it is not, and what the client can expect from the coaching process. Many clients arrive with misconceptions. They might think coaching is therapy, consulting, or mentoring. During the intake process and throughout the engagement, reinforce what coaching involves and how it differs from other helping professions. Importantly, always use a written agreement, even for pro bono work. This contract should clearly articulate the nature of the coaching relationship, the roles and the responsibilities, confidentiality, and session logistics. We'll cover written contracts more deeply later in this course. Number two, reaching agreement on boundaries and responsibilities. The coaching agreement should also cover what is and what isn't appropriate in the relationship, what is being offered, and the responsibilities of all parties. Let me share a lesson I learned the hard way. I once partnered with a third-party organization that hired me to coach one of their clients. They assured me the client had received all the relevant information. 3 sessions in, I realized that the client had no idea what coaching was or why we were meeting. Since then, I never assume. I always have the foundational conversation myself, no matter who initiates the coaching agreement. Number 3, clarifying logistics, fees, scheduling, and confidentiality. Your written agreement should include specific terms such as session logistics, the fees, scheduling, duration, termination, confidentiality, and inclusion of other parties. An example of a written agreement template can be found in the ICF website. Number 4, establishing the overall coaching plan and goals. This is actually your second coaching agreement, distinct from the initial contract. Together with your client, you need to develop overarching goals for the coaching relationship. These goals serve as a roadmap for the sessions and a point of reference when evaluating progress. In organizational coaching, supervisors may provide performance goals. Always verify and co-create those goals with your client before finalizing the agreement and reporting back to the sponsor. And remember, clients are free to bring up other topics along the way. Your job is to check in and confirm their intentions. Number 5, determining client-coach compatibility. Not every client is coachable or compatible with every coach. Early in the relationship, I often use a 3-month trial agreement. If it becomes clear that I am not the right coach for them, I let them know with honesty and respect. I never blame the client, and I always encourage them to find a better fit. Number 6, creating session agreements. This brings us to the third type of coaching agreement, the session agreement, which should be made at the start of each coaching conversation. And it begins usually with, what would you like to focus on today? Or how would you like to spend our time together? This defines the context of the session. Number 7, clarifying the session outcome. Next, help the client clarify what they hope to walk away by asking, what's your desired outcome for this conversation? This narrows the focus and provides clarity on their goal for the session. If the client isn't sure, give them a few minutes to reflect before moving forward. And by the way, this question is asked after about 5 minutes into the session. Number 8 is defining success. About halfway through the session or when things feel scattered, you may pause and ask, are we still discussing what you wanted to explore? Or are we still on track with your goal for the session? These check-ins allow you to recalibrate and ensure the session stays aligned with the client's intention. This question may need to be asked more than once, especially if multiple themes emerge. Number 9, managing session time and focus. Time management is crucial. Stick to the agreed upon duration for your sessions. My sessions are typically 30 minutes. If a client arrives late, I honor the original end time and I don't change it at all. As one of my colleagues says, clients will fill the time you give them. Define your session length clearly in advance and maintain consistency. Number 10, following the client's lead. As coaches, we follow, not direct. The client is always in the driver's seat. If the client shifts focus, simply check in with them and say something like, I notice we're exploring something different. Is this the direction you would like to continue? Stay aligned with their evolving needs, but always verify. Number 11, concluding the coaching relationships respectfully. Both individual sessions and the overall coaching engagement should have a meaningful close. I often wrap up the section with, have we talked about what you wanted to talk about today? When concluding the entire agreement, I invite clients to reflect on what they have learned and acknowledge the journey we have taken together. Always thank them for the trust and participation. In summary, there are 3 types of coaching agreements you need to master. The contract agreement, which is establishing the professional relationship. The coaching goals agreement, which is setting long-term objectives for the engagement. And the session agreement, which is defining the focus, outcome, and success of each session. Mastering the art of coaching agreements is a cornerstone of great coaching. As we move forward in this course, we'll take a deeper dive into each one of these agreement types with practical tools and examples to guide your practice. This concludes our discussion of ICF Core Competency number 3, establishing and maintaining agreements. Make sure to review your notes and practice the tools introduced here. See you in the next video.